Hello, beautiful people. Hey, look, before I start this session, I have a big announcement to make. And, the documentary that's been in the works for a long time about my son Eric's life, it's almost finished. But in order to get to that finish line, the director producer Paula Marino needs some help. So she needs funds to cover all the professional fees that will be involved to bring the story to the screen, like a professional story editor, a music composer, a sound mixer, an illustrator, animator, etc., etc. Now, Paula created a crowdfunding page where you can donate whatever you feel comfortable donating. You can also donate by purchasing a 30-minute session with one of our mediums, or by purchasing an item from the Erik merchandise store, like the one I'm wearing. Saving the world one prank at a time. It's an embroidered image, so it's really nice. So anyway, go visit channelingericdoc.com and take a look at it. This project is very near and dear to my heart. And one of my greatest wishes is to get the story out to more people so we can help more people. And I want you to go and see the trailer that's on the channelingericdoc.com. It's so moving. It's so powerful. It was my first reaction. It was a gut punch. Um, but it says it all. So look at the trailer and let me know what you think. Thank you guys. Hello, beautiful people. Ginger Bailey here. Awesome channel. And she is great with diet and exercise. And we'll get to that later. Her information is going to be on the screen, and it will definitely be in the description box below. Plus, we have Erik, my lovely son in the afterlife. We are going to do
Aw.
part three. Yeah, part three
Mhm.
of chronic disease and health, basically. So it's like
Yeah, he's
so many questions from our wonderful community, 84 of them. So we are on number
yeah.
8.
Uh he's
I
love
love
you,
you.
mom.
Love
Yeah,
you.
he's gonna I love you, mom. He's so cute. He's kind of like he's not looking like a little boy, but he's like dressed like a little boy with the little
Mhm.
shorts that go to the knees right now, and he's kind of like
Oh,
feeling a little boyish, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's just like love you, mom, and like he always wants to hug. Like he puts his arms out like he's gonna hug.
I want
So
you to know, too.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
we'll get to it. Let's see.
Mhm.
Sphincter of Oddi dysfunction has no remedies that work. It's never in the news or on any sites. And it's true. I mean, it's a little sphincter that I think it empties out into the duodenum from the gallbladder. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I took anatomy. But so what's up with that?
Um, okay, so Eric says that it is something that is genetic he's talking about. And it could be, not always. He says it could be. Some of this is environmental for when the baby is in the womb and forming. So
Oh,
instead of genetic, it could be like I can't even remember what is the word again. Like it's just from forming
yeah.
in the womb, you know. So that wouldn't be genetic. It'd be more like, you know, like when people have birth defects, things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Um, so he's saying that so then the environment or you know, things in the food, things that maybe can be toxic, you know, in the environment or food can cause us during the forming of the fetus.
Hmm.
Um, he's saying that there is something that they can do to help this. Now, you can help this with diet. You can.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah. I
so
bet.
yeah, there's certain things that you can do. Let me see what he's saying here. Oh, okay. He's saying maintaining your weight, your, you know, a healthy weight, and trying not to eat things that are too like inflammatory.
Yeah.
And
That.
there is something he's showing me. I don't know, Lisa, you probably know what this is, but he's showing me like they're inflaming the sphincter.
Mhm.
They're like swelling it up like it's a surgical procedure, like
Oh,
that they can do to it to let me see. Okay, it improves dilation and flow. he says,
Okay.
because that is what it is, what you were talking about, where you get a backflow,
Oh yeah.
of the bile and stuff that,
Okay.
comes from the
I'll have to research
pancreas
that.
and
That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Speak,
So, but this is something that is environmental or
yeah.
it could be genetic, but it's on an individual basis.
Speaking of diet, we were talking about, how what wonderful results you get from consulting people about their diet and exercise, and a lot of it's channeled. So, do you want to tell us a story or two?
Yeah, so um I'm going to be putting up a page. I mean, I've been working on this, putting a page on my site to show some of the outcomes of people that have done the it's fitness and nutrition program that I do with them. And they some people have been sending me like some results or some pictures, so I'm going to be putting those up. I'm not to say any names, but I had a client talk about reversing her diabetes. There's been more than just one, but this
Oh
was one
yeah.
that's current, Also thyroid. I had somebody telling me about their thyroid, keeping that balance where they didn't have to take medication. So, and also with the diabetes, reversing it, no medication. This person was
Oh,
taking medication, they're not taking medication now. And then also, I have a picture of this other lady um, who just
she
did
gave
my,
permission, guys. So,
yeah,
oh
she
my
gave
God.
permission. She did of her transformation. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And she's
That,
still going. She's still going. She's not done. But she's like, yeah, I feel good. I feel really good. So just kind of took a break from it, which is what I suggest. You don't want to
yeah.
keep going forever with it. You want to give the body a break because I tell you, the body is smart and it will try to make you survive. Like it will try to keep you alive when it's
Oh
like, oh,
yeah.
I don't want to lose weight because we're not built to do
Right.
that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that
it
makes
will
sense.
try to outsmart you. So you have to outsmart the
Your
body. And
body.
that's some of the things I go over. So,
It must be
but yeah,
so rewarding.
share that very much.
Eric, what is the spiritual basis of the chronic illness POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome?
Spiritual basis of pots.
Yeah,
Is
when you
that what
get
it?
up, your heart starts beating real fast.
Yeah. Yeah. So like um any condition that causes suffering, okay, he says, there's always many things to learn from this. Um, yeah, he's talking about having tachycardia. Tachycardia, sometimes this is misdiagnosed. Sometimes they, will misdiagnose this, thinking like maybe it's like anxiety or you just need to lose
Yeah.
weight or calm down, which is not
No.
is not the reason, but it has been misdiagnosed. So this can be under control with exercise, he's showing me.
That makes sense.
Yeah, with exercise. There's exercises you can do to get this under control and get the
To
the
calm
cardio.
down the sympathetic nervous system.
Right, right, exactly.
Right.
And also he talks about this a lot to me when I'm like doing these sessions about how, people what they need to do to really heal themselves, to do things to heal their own self or to set goals. You set goals with this. You can set goals with anything, anything, as long as you're learning to focus with it.
Okay.
So, but the spiritual contract behind it is an individual thing.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's different, but it really is to overcome, persevere, things like that, he
Okay.
says.
All right. Do sugar substance substitutes like Equal or Splenda cause cancer or any other disease?
He goes, nope, like that. Nope.
Okay.
So he's explaining though. He goes, nope. He's just trying to be. He's really goofy today. It's funny. Um, so he's talking about it's no different than regular sugar or other things that they have out there that are either chemically modified or, even sugar. Okay, coming from a natural source is still chemically modified. So,
Oh,
he's saying that if it's used in moderation, um, And if there's not, oh, that's a good one. He says if there's not already an underlying basis for someone getting cancer,
Oh,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, then
Okay,
then yeah, then no, not usually. Yeah. It's
okay,
it does it's just as safe as regular sugar, he's saying.
all
Yeah.
right. Which, I don't know. Is erythritol a good substitute to sugar? I don't even know what that is.
Erythritol. Yeah, that's just another sugar alcohol.
Yeah.
So and that's coming from me, Ginger. I just know what that is. So sugar alcohol, just be careful with it because it can this is not coming from me, this is coming from Eric. He says it can give you the shits, is what he's saying.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but but it is okay. It's just another sugar alcohol, another sugar substitute. It's just a
Like
sugar
sorbitol.
substitute. Yeah, different
Yeah,
ones like
sugar-free
that.
candy.
So I mean, and when he says that it's not any worse than, sugar's not really good for you either. So,
Yeah, of course not.
everything in moderation. And it is better sometimes if you're because sugar can lead to obesity and diabetes and stuff. It is better sometimes to go the sugar substitute way.
Right.
Because you have to pick the worst of two evils sometimes.
Because
So
sugar and carbohydrates and overall increases the insulin spike, which
yeah,
causes you
yep,
to put fat into your fat cells, and
right.
if you take it with a protein that could modulate that increase.
Absolutely.
All right,
Right, right.
does
Yeah, the glycemic
ADHD,
index.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Does ADD or ADHD have any connection with red food dye allergies? I know that was a big thing back in the day.
Part of it, not all of
Okay.
it, but part of it, yes. A lot of the preservatives put in foods and food dyes, not just the red food dye, but a lot of other things too can enhance this. And he's saying that the reason why you see a lot more of these things is not only because we have technology, so you hear more and learn more, like you have more access to
Yeah.
information, but also that there's more tests to be had
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're diagnosing it more and more. But it is caused by that, but it's also could be genetics too,
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. If you were a mantis being in your past life, right before becoming a human, would you be more sensitive to the food? This is cool. Foods here on
Mhm.
Earth, like more prone to food allergies during your first life as a human.
Yeah, I like these questions. These are good
Oh, that's
questions. I
cool.
love these. Yeah. So let's see what he says. Okay, so he's saying yes to this. All right. So even though we have a different cellular makeup, all
Yeah,
right, with this physical body, there's still
yeah.
cellular memory and that connects to the soul. I was trying to see how he was showing that because we don't bring ourselves from the other alien body, but you still have that cellular memory that is connected to your soul. Almost like
Oh,
if you have a past life, something happened and you are born with a scar or something, like say you got
yeah.
throat cut and you got like a birthmark here, things like that, he says.
Interesting.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Can you control diabetes without taking so much medicine? Can you control it more naturally? Well, we talked about how you can help people as far as
Yes, you can.
type
Yes, you
2 is
can.
concerned.
Yes,
All
you
right.
can.
Talk
There,
to
there
me.
unfortunately isn't a cure, but
No.
what I don't, Ginger, what I like look at it as though is there may not be a cure, but you can go into remission with it, which is almost the same thing. The only
Yeah.
difference is that if you start doing your old habits again, you're going to kick right back into it. So
Yeah.
once you cross that line from insulin resistant, it's like there's no going back. Almost, he goes almost like a black hole. Once you get past that line
Oh,
of, no,
a
there's
roach
no,
motel.
yeah, yeah, it's going to
Okay.
pull you in and you're stuck, he says.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But you can't control it. You can control
Good.
it. Yeah.
Eric, what will be the next pandemic so that we can prepare?
Now, this can be affected with free will. Anything like this that happens changes like the speed of when something happens or how
Yeah.
long it happens, things like that. But he's given me like a 10-year number. So anywhere from a range. a range, 5, 5, 10, like a five,
Okay.
10 year range. And let's see what he's saying about. Yeah. So he's saying, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Keep your immune system strong. Try to make sure that you're, always keeping things clean, including washing your hands. People probably don't realize how many things they touch every day and don't wash their hands
Yeah.
afterwards. And then high traffic, he's talking about like high traffic areas, doorknobs, handles on things.
Now I open doors like this,
Yeah, yeah.
and I also push the elevator button with this because you very rarely will, put that in your nose.
Right, right. And that's another thing he was showing, like people don't realize how much they touch their face and their
Oh
mouth and
yeah,
their
I
eyes.
do.
Like,
Yeah.
me too, me too. So just prepare yourself as in not, it's mostly about prevention, he says, and then trying not to spread and cross-contaminate and things like that. So,
And
yeah.
decrease your comorbidities like obesity and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, that's why he's saying make sure you keep your immune system strong. And anytime you don't eat a healthy diet or you are underweight too, he just said underweight
Yeah.
too.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Will GMO be banned? And will the soda industry get held accountable along with other food producers that knew and that are behind the big agenda? Well, will GMO be banned ever?
No, no, it's not going to be banned. And here's the thing, Eric's saying now there are pros and cons to GMO. Just come from Eric. Don't kill the messenger. Let's see. He's saying that okay, he's saying like so with GMO, when you genetically modify something, you can make more of it. Okay,
Yeah.
feed more people. Also, he's talking about making it resistant to pests, so you don't have to use pesticides. But then again, you got to weigh out those pros and cons. The
Yeah.
what's the worst of two evils? Where is that genetically modified going to mess me up more than the pesticides, or is the pesticides,
Yeah.
worse?
Yeah, it's very
So,
complicated.
right, right. But it's not going to be no, because then also, oh, that. Okay. So he's talking about money. So of course it's all about money, but it's
Everything
also,
is.
right. It's also about, if you don't have it, then food costs more. Almost like we were talking about how
Yeah.
organic, if everything went organic,
Yeah.
food would increase, the prices would increase. Um, but the good news, he wants to give good news with this.
Good.
They are working towards doing GMOs with where it's less effective, has less negative effects on the body.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Because there is like gut problems, a lot of gut problems that people have with
Yeah.
this and
Gut
inflammation in the
syndrome.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that again is individualized, but it's, more than needs to be. So,
Okay.
yeah.
What about all the GMO foods? Are they going away? How bad? Okay, we already talked about that. Will clinical depression become a thing of the past? And if so, how?
He's at least I'm sorry, he's backing up to something you had said earlier
Okay.
about them being held accountable, someone
Oh,
being
yeah,
held
I forgot about that
accountable.
part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he just said that it's hard to hold them accountable. I think we talked about this in another question was similar, but it's hard to hold accountable on that big of a scale. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're always going to fight and have an excuse of your health was the cause, the reason in the first place, or,
Yeah. Oh,
like you
yeah.
already had problems. You chose, to maybe eat the candy bar or the potato chips that, were
Yeah.
modified. But so not held accountable on a big scale, just like that other one that they asked on a smaller scale, though.
Okay.
There are people that go and
Okay.
against them. Okay.
All right. Clinical depression will become a thing of the past and how?
Depression.
Yeah. Clinical depression.
Okay. There's always going to be mental health problems, he says, in this planet, okay, in this
This
plane where we
dimension,
live.
the fourth,
Yes,
third, and fourth
but
dimension. Yeah.
yes, it will get better though. It will get less because people will learn how to, the way to get rid of something like that is to learn how to react different to things, not so
Yeah.
much just getting rid of that is just a symptom. The problem that causes that symptom is not just the imbalance. Some people do have chemical
Yeah,
imbalances,
right.
okay? But again, you can heal your own body and get balanced with vibration and other things. But it's about changing your perception and the way you react. Those two big things right there can change those type of mental health issues.
That's true. I mean,
So,
it's really
so
easy to just say, wait a minute, look what I do have. Look at the reasons
yeah,
I should be happy.
yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah. Depression. He's real quick. He's saying depression comes from a lot of people either beating themselves up from the past or hoping for something or wanting something to go a certain way and not being okay when it doesn't. So,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
But still, of course, the neurotransmitters are involved. How
yes.
much are
So,
gas stoves used in our kitchen contributing to our health decline?
not very much. He's saying not very much. But he does talk about microwaves. He says microwaves would
Oh,
be something more concerning than a gas stove.
well, what about if you kind of stay away from them while it's cooking?
Right, right. But it does put like microwaves in the food. It's the way it breaks up the molecules. It's not so much the
Oh,
like it puts chemical in your food, but the
right.
way it breaks up a molecule, just like if you fry something, it's so carcinogenic because
Mm,
it breaks down that molecule so much from like
yeah.
burnt foods,
Oh,
fried
yeah.
foods, and then it doesn't work like it's supposed to in your body. And so
Okay.
it can cause carcinogenics, or it is carcinogenic, so it can cause cancer. But he's saying no to gas stoves being a big problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do we do about microwaves? Steam food instead, for example? Or
Yeah, try to steam food. Now, he's not saying
okay.
not to use microwaves, but he's saying
Okay.
to, not make it like the main cooking source.
Okay. All right. Will our government eventually ban the gas stoves and give us tax credits to replace with electric? Stay out of our lives.
No, he's saying no. This isn't going to happen because again, they will always find a reason why something else is wrong instead of their product that did it.
Oh
And he's not
yeah.
saying those don't cause problems. He's just saying it's not on a large scale like
Yeah.
it people seem to think it is. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Can you please ask Eric about weight loss medications? I think they're absolutely fantastic, but am I wrong? I think we're also talking about the GLP-1, all the injectables like Monjuro and Ozempic and all that.
Wegovy,
Yeah, we'll go
Ozempic.
over
So
tell us about that.
don't they? They're all kind of like the semaglutide or something that's in
Yeah,
this, right? Okay, so what he's saying is for people that are dealing with obesity
yeah,
or morbid obesity,
yeah.
okay, it's good. It's good to use that because again, pick the
Yeah,
worst of two
yeah,
evils,
risk and yeah, exactly.
right? Okay. Now for those who only need to lose 20, 30, 40 pounds, um, you want to be careful about this. Okay. Now, I'm not a doctor and I'm not going to tell you if you should or shouldn't, but
Yeah,
Eric's saying that it's not, think about it, because here's what happens it will make your pancreas rely on that, he says, rely on that
yeah,
medication. And then when you stop taking it, you're either going to, you will automatically, and this isn't always for everybody, this isn't a
yeah,
base
of course not.
case by case, will be diabetic for even a short time, not
Yeah.
not permanently, but you will have diabetic episodes, you will have high blood sugar, and you will have drops as in hypoglycemia too.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so he's saying that what happens is you gain weight back. So it's a temporary solution. You
Right.
want to learn how to eat right. You want to learn how to do it without that because just like weight loss surgery, and this is coming from Eric, not me, weight loss surgery. If you don't learn how to eat right
I
or deal
know.
with
It comes right
any,
back.
yeah, or deal
Right.
with any addictions or addictive behaviors or eating disorders, he says,
Yeah.
then it's not the complete solution. So
All right, let's do one more, I think, before we start part four. But can y'all please give a like, thumbs up right now before you forget and subscribe?
please.
All right. Thank you. Do chronic diseases like diabetes and obesity hold a deeper spiritual lesson about nourishment and self-care that we might be overlooking? Great question.
I know, I love that. That's a
Mm,
good question. Yes, he says yes. Um, anything that makes you focus inward on your body, okay, is about self-love,
yeah.
self-care, but especially when it comes to nutrition, because nutrition I mean, because the brain and the digestive tract are the two main things with our body that make us function. They make
Yeah.
everything function, you
Yeah.
know. And even the you can think of the digestive tract, he says, as the heart of your system, because
Wow.
anything that goes in there affects everything else.
Yeah.
So this is a yes, absolutely, to
Okay.
that question. Yeah.
All right, well, let me just do one more. Doctors and dietitians suggest that diabetes sufferers eat every 3 to 4 hours. Now, there is a holistic trend to use intermittent fasting to combat blood glucose level. What is the better method?
He says this depends on the person.
Yeah.
Here's what he's saying. He's saying that the reason why they do that is to keep your blood sugar balanced, but there really isn't, it really isn't like that. He's like, I'm just looking how he's showing me the body. The body sometimes is going to do what it's going to do, he says, even if you eat a little bit each hour, or,
Yeah.
every 2 hours, however you have it. So intermittent fasting, what that will do, if if you don't have episodes of hypoglycemia, okay, that can help. That can help regulate blood sugar too. So both of them are a good thing, he's saying. Okay, they are a good thing, but they're not as much as you think, is how he's putting it. Like, it's not like if you want to eat a meal earlier, because if you're already diabetic and you're taking medication, then that's taking care of it already. He is how
Oh,
he's
yeah.
showing me.
Yeah,
If you're
right.
pre-diabetic and you're having episodes and you don't want to be on medication, then that's a good way to try to keep it under control.
Which
But
one?
bottom,
The intermittent
um,
fasting or the
the
3 to 4 hour?
both
Oh, okay,
both of
both.
them.
Okay.
Of them, yeah. But what he's saying is when you're on already medication, then those things aren't really relevant, is how he's showing it, because you have
Okay.
medication. So that's kind of like what he's, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
that makes,
explain how he's showing it. Yeah.
but you look at the people in Japan and stuff that live to 120, whatever, a lot of them just are quasi starving or they fast ritualistically, perhaps. So,
Yeah, yeah, but they do get their nourishment, what they, even though they're not, because it is about getting that nourishment, not all of them eat great, Eric says, but
yeah.
the ones that do live a long time, it's not, oh, that's interesting. He says it's not just nourishment, it's mine too, he
Hmm.
says. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's pause. I mean, stop here. And you guys hit the notification bell so you get part 4. See you
Yeah.
guys. And check the
Bye.
messenger in the box below.